Welcome back to the Unfriendly Cricket Podcast with the three of us, Krishnendu Banerjee, Abhishek Shetty, and me, Rajesh Gupta. It's been a crazy, invigorating week. I know it sounds like a bit of an oxymoron when I mention that, but what a week it's been. Perth first, India down and out after that defeat to New Zealand. Everybody wrote India off. Nobody gave them a chance, including gentlemen on our podcast here. Nobody believed India
I
would
gave.
win. Shetty, before you jump in to defend yourself, shut up and own it up.
No, no, I'm
We
saying
never
I
give
was
India
that
a chance.
gentleman. No,
Yeah,
I'm saying I was that gentleman. I'm
yeah,
pointing that me.
exactly. Yes. Are you eating humble pie now?
No, I said not 3-1. I said 3-1.
Well, look, you did not give India a chance. You said it is, you made it look like doomsday for India, but what
Yeah.
a heroic effort in Perth. And I'm pretty sure, like all of us in India, you're pretty happy and excited to see that side of the Indian team with the backs against the wall. We said that on the podcast. This Indian team is as dangerous as they come. And wow, what an effort that was. But we'll park that for another day because this is history in the making, what India is doing in Australia again. Of course, they're playing that ping pong test in Adelaide, the scene of the horror 36 all out so many years back. But can this Indian team avenge that defeat? But like I said, we'll keep that for another day. Today is the day to discuss. Well, like again, a lot of Indians are talking about the auctions. Crazy. Rishabh Pant, 27 crore. He broke all IPL bidding records moments after his India teammate Shreyas Iyer back 26.75 crore from Punjab Kings. Rishabh Pant, of course, going to Lucknow Super Giants, who did not retain KL Rahul, and KL Rahul, well, he found a new home in the IPL. Krishnendu Banerjee, Rishabh Pant, 27 crore. Obnoxious bidding. Did it make any sense, or was it like an emotional roller coaster at the end for Lucknow Super Giants?
Well, we all thought Rishabh Pant will get the highest bid, but 27 crore makes no sense to me, to be very honest. Yes, he's your captain, he's your wicket keeper. What else? Nothing, right?
Brand.
He brand, but Lucknow. I mean, do they really care for that? Because they already have such players.
No.
They had KL Rahul, but I mean, what? We saw
They
nothing
let him
happening
go.
there. They let him go. So, and I mean, they do not have a great rapport with the wicket-keeper batters that we have seen, right? There was MS
Indian
Dhoni, there
Indian
is
media.
KL Rahul, and now what? Can we see another Splitsvilla happening there somewhere? Don't know. But yeah, I mean, see, yeah, Rishabh Pant absolutely justified anywhere between 20, but more than 20, absolutely no. Because even though he has had decent IPLs, he has not been that match winner in T20 that we love to see happening. He is a match winner in Test, no doubt about that. In T20, I doubt that. He hasn't done that in the past, what, 3, 4 seasons. He missed one season there in 2023, but 2024, he played well, got selected for T20 World Cup squad, but he wasn't that match winner for Delhi.
That
So I
is
doubt.
that's exactly why I feel Abhishek Shetty. It was a really emotional decision there at the end. Look at what happened. Look at the players who were bidding for him at that one point. It was LSG. Obviously, you knew that they were going hard for a wicketkeeper batter, for a potential captain, and there was RCB in the initial rounds. RCB also was pretty aggressive, and then you at the end after it had reached
Actually,
record-breaking figures.
LSG
Yeah,
going for a wicketkeeper batter that hard did not make sense to me because they already had Nicholas
why?
Puran.
But they were not looking at, they were also looking at an
Yeah,
Indian
but
wicketkeeper
now
batter
now
who could
look,
play all matches, right? Foreigners, they also tend
Puran
to,
is there. So they are paying Puran what 21 crore, right? So he
yeah,
is
yeah,
going to play all the matches. But then again,
but
you have
is
two
Puran,
wicketkeeper batters in the lineup.
that is the, so you had Nicholas Puran, KL Rahul in the past as well. That
Yeah, I
is, I
mean
mean, they
that
had
is why
Quinton de
why are
Kock.
they
There were
repeating
three.
that mistake?
There
No,
were three. The mistake was probably what they expected from KL Rahul, and he wasn't going to give them that. Maybe they wanted firepower, and that is why, in the hope that Pant can replicate that kind of firework in the T20 format. And I completely agree that his exploits in tests and ODIs are very different from the T20 segment, Shetty. And this is
exactly.
probably again another strategic mistake that Lucknow Super Giants are
Yeah.
making. He's not going to die wandering, so
I
he's not
think,
going to those low strike rates. But is it the wisest choice?
yeah, but so what I think is if any other team would have taken Rishabh Pant for 27 crores bearing GT and LSG, I would have said that it's a very bad move. Okay. Because I don't think Rishabh deserves 27 crores. But LSG are just taking him just for the terms of marketing, right? Because he is one of the biggest names in Indian cricket right now. They want followers. They want more people to know the team. That's their main move. Or else, like Krish mentioned, why will they want a wicketkeeper batter in their team? They have already have Nicholas Puran, who can also be the captain, who actually captained them when KL Rahul. Nicholas Puran is actually a good captain, and he's a better T20 player than
It
Rishabh
is. It
Pant.
is not about. It is again. It is not about a good captain. It is about an overseas captain. It is an overseas player, and it is about Nicholas Poonen going through a bad patch of form. That is when things get complicated. You've seen that in the past
But
with overseas
Rishabh Pant,
captains.
yeah,
And
that's why
Rishabh,
that's what I'm saying.
since
I think Rishabh Pant is of course an upgrade to KL Rahul. Let me just start with that. But so much
You are
money
again
is going to
starting
go.
your anti-KL Rahul agenda.
Okay, but the only thing which can justify so much money is brand value. The only thing which justifies so much money is the fan followers which he is
okay,
going to get to LSG.
what,
Or else
now
there's
you're
no other
talking.
thing.
Now you're talking. So both of you throwing brand value and market value. What is the evidence and facts of what sort of brand value Rishabh Pant can get that KL Rahul did not get? You think KL Rahul wasn't a big enough brand? And with fan following, I mean, again, it becomes a little complicated, right? So are you saying Rishabh Pant, essentially seen as a North boy, will bring that much more commercial fandom or fan value to a North-based IPL team and not with KL Rahul, who's a South player? So how,
Yeah.
how do these things work?
No,
Both of them
it's
are
not.
India's
It's not
stars.
about north and south at all. It's not about that. Let
Then
me just say it in that way. Like we all know that Rishabh Pant is more chirpy. Rishabh Pant is more active behind the stumps during the ground. People like to see him. People like to watch. So if Rishabh is playing for LSG, his fans like even me, I will want to watch Rishabh over there in the ground. So more views, more people will come to the stadium if Rishabh is there. He's on very good form, and now we also have an emotional angle to it. We all know at this moment that Rishabh Pant is the one of the biggest brand who were available in the auction. We all knew that he's going to go big, right? Why? Rishabh
So you
Pant
are
never had a
saying,
big.
so you are saying they had a limitation of options, and that is why Rishabh Pant became such a big name
Of
for
course,
that
of course,
particular
of
reason
course, of
alone.
course, of course.
But
If we had more five good batters, Indian batters, more five Indian batters available like Surya or Tilak or Ardik or Virat, like leave Virat, but more players who were already retained by the teams, Rishabh wouldn't have gone for 27. We all know
you
that.
know, no, but this is okay. You guys are agreed to disagree here, but I think LSG were absolutely spot on with what they did. Of course, their budget got a little, distorted, and Parth Jindal said on this recent interview, he has been prick info. He said we wanted to get
Three
back Pant, but
left-hander batters in middle.
anything.
Three left-hander
It's
batters in middle.
again, it's not
Does
about
that?
three left-handers. Rishabh Pant, think about it. 4 years from now, potential India captain, and then it doesn't get any bigger than that. Imagine for Lucknow Super Giants to be sitting cozy with Rishabh Pant right now, and 3 years, 4 years down the line, this man is your next Test captain. I mean, you can write it out. Just with Bumrah, fine, he's been fantastic in Perth, but how often does a fast bowler?
Rishabh is not lasting at LSG beyond 3 years. He is going back to DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may not. He may not.
He
He may
is.
not.
He
But again,
is.
the
He
fact is,
is.
he may not.
He is.
He may not.
Mr.
You're
Goenka
probably
does not have a
referring
good
to
record.
yeah, that is exactly the point you're mentioning. Yeah, Sanjeev Goenka's fallout, so-called fallout with MS Dhoni, then that public, that
KL
rather
Rahul.
acrimonious scene with KL Rahul. You don't know, but Pant is a different character. It was interesting when you read between the lines with what Parth Jindal said. Of course, we can't comment for him, but when he said that he had a different philosophy,
Yeah.
and we at the corner at DC, we had a different philosophy. You'd sometimes wonder what was that philosophy about? Was it about the middle order? Was it about the way the team was managed behind the scenes? Rishabh Pant is a new gen cricketer. Remember what one of India's former fielding coaches said about training Rishabh Pant? He doesn't quite take a lot of it. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's an interesting combination. He's a young guy. He's definitely very different from KL Rahul, that's for sure. So I'm pretty sure
Now,
Lucknow Super Giants will have a lot
KL
of
Rahul,
memory.
KL Rahul might have digested whatever Mr. Goenka said, but Rishabh Pant, that is not happening.
Yeah, he's going to give it back. And the thing is that he already had he had a fallout with DC a long time back with his tweets and everything. If I come to the mega auction, which team should I go? But coming back to the topic, I think it's justifiable for LSG to get Rishabh Pant for 27 crores
27
because he
crores
was
is
the biggest.
too much. I mean, for any player for
Where
that
would have
matter.
they spent? UC is going for 18 crores. Like, what are you saying? Venkatesh Iyer is going for about 20 crores. Like, Rishabh Pant is still justifiable,
Okay,
right? When
No,
we
but
don't see these names.
if you put it like
but
that,
that is.
okay, everyone is justified.
But then that is the IPL structure. So, but we should have another discussion around that sometime where you have the mega stars, the marquee players in the first 3 hours of the first day. Obviously, teams are going to spend big and splurge, and by the time
Absolutely.
they look at the lesser players, they will be more realistic about the budget
But
that
they
they
didn't.
actually want to
But they
spend.
didn't for Rahul.
So,
No one did for Rahul.
again,
No,
that
Rahul
is
got
that is
squeezed.
complicated.
Rahul got squeezed between Rishabh
Yeah,
Pant and Shreyas Iyer. I
and
mean, he
Shreyas
would
Iyer, yeah.
have got more
So,
had Rishabh
and
Pant and Shreyas Iyer
RCB
not
had
got
money.
around
Okay,
27.
okay. But today, I think Rahul is not in a
You know,
menu today. So,
RCB,
But
RCB is a very different discussion altogether. So let's keep RCB out of it. RCB is a different ball game altogether. I don't know what they do
yeah.
in
But I'm
auction.
so happy. Like, they made one right decision to not go all out for KL. And I thought they will, but they
They did
didn't.
not go
So,
all in for. I mean, they did not go for anyone. I mean, it seemed like they had an agenda
yeah.
against their existing players. I mean, nobody. We are not going to bid for anyone who we left out just now. So
Yeah.
RCB strange because anyway, even Virat Kohli called them. He said right. I mean, Prathamesh.
Yeah.
He said he got a call from Virat Kohli. What are you guys doing in the auction?
Yeah.
So you can understand they can even frustrate Virat Kohli, who has been in that franchise for so long, forever. So let's keep out RCB because I cannot
yeah, I
justify
mean,
anything.
talking of RCB and KL Rahul, RCB of course also tried to back KL Rahul back. And first of all, I mean, I'm still to coming to terms with the fact that happened 8 years ago when they let KL Rahul go after the 2016 season is quite bizarre. But KL Rahul, of course, with the Delhi Capitals now, it's almost like a direct swap between LSG and Delhi Capitals. Shreyas Iyer is the main, again, one of the other eyebrow raisers at 26.75 crore. Imagine Kolkata Knight Riders and Shreyas Iyer obviously couldn't come to an agreement, having helped them win the IPL last year. I don't think it's really happened a lot of times when a captain helps you win the IPL and then he's off to another team. Shetty.
Yeah. So that
But
says a
yeah,
lot about his value, right? That says a lot why Punjab shouldn't have spent 26.75 crores for him, right? Because if your team is letting you go, your team is letting you off, you know that he's not even in the Indian setup right now, right? We won't see him play T20 again for India right now. And to spend so much money for Shreyas Iyer, I think only Punjab can do it. Only Punjab is the only team who can have this abundance of money and then just go and spend it all on Shreyas Iyer. But again, right, like, what are your views about it? Do you think he justifies that amount of money?
Shreyas Iyer, no.
Krish gone. Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer, no, definitely not. I mean, what has he done apart from winning the IPL title? That's also because of Sunil Narine mostly.
No one
Then
gave
you
him the
had other
credits.
players. I mean, yeah, exactly. He does not deserve the credit for winning IPL title like someone like Rohit Sharma would have got. Because he
Yeah,
had that setup and everyone performed accordingly and they won. His performance, no, it hasn't been great. His leadership skills, it has let them down quite often. He is not in the scheme of things for Test. He is not in the scheme of things for T20Is. He is there for the ODIs alone. So, on what basis you are spending that much for a player who, and also he is injury prone now. It's not that he has been on his prime fitness all the time. Something happens when he is missing out the entire IPL season. On what basis
yeah.
you are spending that much? It see Punjab had got a very good squad, I believe still, but spending for I mean they see it seemed like they were desperate for a captain and they just wanted to spend any amount for a captain and they
Also an
got it.
Indian face, also an Indian
Yeah,
batting face, like a
but
proper face.
but see, I
But
mean, he does not bring in as well the brand value that Rishabh Pant brings in.
no, no,
So
he doesn't. He's nowhere
it
close.
still makes no sense for me that why would you go all out for Shreyas Iyer, and then what? Then you are not left with
It's
anything.
not. I agree with the both of you. Shreyas Iyer is again bizarre, but this is what happens, and we've spoken about this in various other forums and platforms. Is what happens in a mega auction when you have some really heavy Indian batters on sell, and this is exactly what you got to see. Last year it was all about pacers. You saw what happened with Mitchell Stark and Pat Cummins, and now you have the Indian batters. But having said that, is I agree. Shreyas Iyer often seems very self-centered. He's almost like struggling within himself. But if you look at his IPL numbers, 3,000 over 3,000 runs, not at a very bad average. Strike rate is the problem. Again, some of you will disagree, even our viewers, with the strike rate around KL Rahul. That has also been another potential talking point around Rahul's stature in LSG. The same thing with the Punjab Kings. They struggled with Shikhar Dhawan's strike rate at the top. There was a time when KL Rahul also batted for them. He scored a lot of runs. Again, that strike rate became an issue, and everybody said that look, he's only trying to amp up the batting lineup because it was so fragile. Then that same
Yeah.
pressure is now on Shreyas Iyer because he's the biggest name now in that setup, and that struggle will continue. It's not like he's been a complete disaster. He's had, I think, three successive seasons of over 400 runs in the IPL a few years back. One of them resulted in a 519 run season, his best in the IPL. So it's not a complete, doom scroll. But again, I agree. Shreyas Iyer 26.75. But it was also, gentlemen, his
Yeah.
luck, his fortune, that he was there among the top list, the top marquee list. What if he had come in when KL Rahul came up or the wicket
KL Rahul would
came
have
up?
KL Rahul would have broken the record. I mean, Shetty might not agree, but he would have.
No,
Yeah.
no, I agree. I agree that teams would have gone all out for KL as well if you wouldn't have. But I just feel that RCB might have, but they decided they went with the right move, is what I was saying. Because RCB had that money till the time KL came. I thought that they are saving only for KL, but they
Yeah.
didn't. That's my point. But obviously,
RCB
here's the
RCB
thought.
was RCB was saving for who? I mean, they were saving for everyone.
They were
It
they
seemed
were
like
saving for
it seemed
Virat
like they
next
did not.
season. Also, they want Virat.
Exactly, it seemed like they did not want to spend money at all. I mean,
Yeah,
otherwise, and then it was you let Washington Sundar go. You did not bid more than four, and then you got Krunal Pandya for 5.25. How does it
yeah,
make
I mean, that
sense?
was bizarre. That was bizarre. And almost looked like RCB were preparing for a mock auction with Virat Kohli in the list right at the
yeah.
bottom. So maybe saving all our money to buy back Virat Kohli. It was actually crazy to
But it
see
is it
what
is
they were
also
doing.
it is also like what one of those experts commented, that I think they just want Virat to be the Indian marquee player in the team. They have some philosophy around it. I don't understand what, but they will never get a big Indian name. Now they had an entire pool of big Indian names. They could have gotten anyone they wanted. They had the second or the third largest purse, but they won't go for it. No one understands why,
See
but it's
that
just
way.
them.
See, that is where someone a franchise like Chennai, Mumbai, KKR for that matter, they differ from RCB, and the reason why RCB haven't won a title, RCB have only invested in Virat Kohli. They have not invested in anyone else. You
Yeah,
do not have any connection with Karnataka. You changed our name Bengaluru after what? I mean, after 6 years,
yeah,
we use Bengaluru often, and then only that particular franchisee stuck with Bangalore. Fine, okay, you do not have any connection with a particular city. You are just there. You then you cheated your fans. I mean, that means what? I mean, then how many Karnataka players are there? Devdutt Padikkal was your like, okay, le lete hain. That was the buy you had.
yeah.
Otherwise, Devdutt Padikkal should have been your one of the top picks because
But again,
he is here. I
when
mean,
you
he
say,
played with Virat Kohli
yeah,
before. He was
but
successful.
it's not. But even in this auction, it's not like they didn't go for those players. I mean, even with
No,
Pant, they were
it
quite
seemed like they
aggressive.
were.
But at the price points where they backed out, that is what was a little startling. I mean, where you backed out at those price points for
Yeah,
for a
too
couple of these
soon.
marquee players, you're not expecting to back them at that price. So maybe they're also maybe curtailed with the price tag that they're paying the top two or three. We don't know. So that is where the IPL auction also becomes a little tricky and very tactical that way, that you don't really
Yeah,
know
And
how much these.
it also exposes some stupid franchises like Punjab Kings and RCB. That's all.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I think again it boils down to tactics and strategies, right? This is the IPL auction, and this is how much are you spending? It's look, RCB have never won an IPL title. It's
They
also
are not
about the
winning
returns that
anytime
they
soon.
want.
They're
Maybe
not
they're not,
winning.
maybe they're not, but you have to give it to them. Whatever you say, they are a profit-making IPL team. Revenues, they are raking in the revenue, so
Yeah, I mean,
that
if
I
that
mean
is
that's the
the
business.
but see, I mean, if that is the only philosophy, then fine. I mean, then don't just lie that we want to win an
Nobody's saying
IPL
that
title.
is the
You are
only
not.
philosophy, but Trish, nobody's saying that is the only philosophy. But
But
without
see, my
names
point is
dropping, we
every
all know what's happening with top sporting teams around the world. They are
yeah,
also
I,
struggling
I
to
agree
make
with
ends
that.
meet despite winning
But
tournaments.
But see, I mean, that is what I mean, every IPL auction, RCB has gone with absolutely no strategy. I mean, they keep saying that we have this strategy, we got the best players. Yeah, last IPL auction, they got the best players. They had everyone they would have. But then they missed out on the key players that they who could have won you. You were too dependent on two particular players. If Maxwell fails, then you are done. I mean, you do not have anyone to fall back on.
Look,
That's all.
you just feel sorry for any new spinner who comes to RCB because that
No.
stadium
Yeah,
in
because
the T20
because
format.
they let go of their best spinner of all time. They let go
They
of
did not
UC
even
You
they did not even go for him this time. Imagine.
That
Okay.
says so much about RCB as in franchise. Like we can have a separate episode of 3 parts on just discussing
There'll be
RCB
plenty. There'll
throughout
be
the
plenty.
years.
There'll be plenty as
Yeah.
we build up to the IPL only a
19
few months
things
away. But
19 things wrong with the RCB. That's all.
okay.
18. Let's make it 18. Let's give it to Virat.
I'm afraid we're running out of time. Quickly before we go, we've talked about the two highest ranking, record breaking IPL players this time, or of all time. But before we go, Shetty, starting with you, two real bargain buys in this IPL auction.
Two real bargain buys in my this option. I'll go with Maxwell. I know that a lot of you will not agree, but I think 4 crores for Maxwell. When he clicks. And there was recently a series against I think Australia versus Australia were playing Pakistan, right, in the T20s, and then Maxwell was actually doing well over there. So I think 4 crores is actually very good, and but I'll have to give it to DC as well to get KL for that amount because, like we said, even though I'm not a fan, but he's still a good Indian player, a very big brand, a captain material plus wicket keeper. So that amount for
Okay.
KL is actually a bargain for me.
Okay, Maxwell and Australian superstar, but overhyped in the IPL is what I think is like you. He's
Yeah.
been to so many IPL teams. He's not really done any wonders apart from a few matches. Apart from a few matches for RCB. Krish, quickly before we go,
For
your
me,
two bargain
Washington
buys this
Sundar. I
season.
mean, Washington Sundar is the
Yeah.
biggest biggest bargain buy. You can never have that kind of player who, I mean, who he is bowling brilliantly right now. He's batting beautifully. So what? I mean, you expect that both to happen until unless you are stupid enough to use him as an impact player. If that happens,
Yeah.
then I mean, there is no point. But he gives you both. He's also a good fielder. So yeah, I mean everything is covered. He should have got around more than 10 to 15 easily. Now, I mean he is settling for what under 4, right? So it was crazy. I mean to see that happening. Even for that matter, Quinton de Kock, I expected him to get much more, but
Yeah.
the way he has played in IPL. Josh Butler as well, for that matter. He also, I thought, I mean, he should have gone more than 15 or so. But yeah, I mean, it also depends on the auction dynamics, which player is coming in at what position. But yeah, I mean, still, Washington Sundar, I mean, you cannot have better bargain than that.
Mhm.
I know you guys will erupt with disdain when I say Krunal Pandey as well. I mean, look, that guy he has that potential. When you want to see him bat lower down the order, he can be a drifter up the
Yeah.
order.
Utility player. I agree.
And he's a utility player. I mean, I was a little
No,
stunned when
I
I saw,
agree.
wow,
I
that's a lot of
agree.
money.
I
But
agree.
he's a
Kunal Pandya,
how many?
Kunal,
Yeah, yeah.
Kunal Pandya is getting a half century every match with the ball.
In
Come on,
Bangalore.
stop,
He's
stop
gone
being
there.
a troll, Krish. Stop being a troll. Stop being a troll. Maybe you'll see a different side. You'll just see a different side to Pranab Pandya when he walks
But he
out
did
for
pretty well
Bangalore
in
this time.
LSG. I can give it
Yeah,
that. Like he
yeah.
was good
Different
in those
conditions. Different
situations.
conditions.
Not
Yeah.
happening
Yeah.
in Bangalore.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
All right then. We'll of course we'll come back with a lot more. We'll come back with a lot more as we build up to the IPL, like I said, which is still a few months down the line, but the auction's already over. So you'll see a lot of talk, a lot of hype building around that tournament. And of course, the Porter Gavaskar Trophy. Plenty of action on Inside Sport and of course on the Inside Sport YouTube channel. Do subscribe, watch, like, and share, and come back and join us for more the next week. Have a good one.